Hi, how you doing? Justin here. In this lesson today, I'm going to be taking you through my 10-step method on how to play guitar and sing at the same time. Now, this has probably been the most requested lesson that I've ever had since I started doing lessons online. And it's taken quite a lot for me to come up with this little plan for you. I've been testing it on myself, testing it on my friends and my students, and I think I've finally come up with this little program that really works. A lot of it is down to your practice, of course. Before we get going on the actual plan, there's a few fundamental things that I want to make sure that you kind of get. And the first of those, which is probably the most important, is to realize that you can only do one thing at a time. So you can't be thinking about playing guitar and thinking about singing or what the chords are and what the lyrics are and that sort of stuff at the same time. So it's all about automation. You have to get stuff automatic. And for most people, it's getting the guitar sorted so you don't have to think about the guitar playing and you can concentrate on the singing. Few kind of freaky people I've met over the years that are good enough singers that they can turn that on automatically and think about the guitar. But for most of us, it's get the guitar kind of sorted and under your fingers first, and then you can worry about the singing part. That's really important. It also means that if you're still thinking about your chord changes and kind of having to look at your chords or look at your strumming hand, then you might not be ready yet for trying to sing and play at the same time, right? So, you know, you've got to be fair with yourself here. If you're an absolute beginner, it's going to be very difficult for you to sing and play at the same time. Now, it's also important to realize that what this leads to is learning one thing at a time. So you have to learn the vocal and learn the guitar and then put them together. You don't want to be trying to do both of those things at the same time, and that's part of this little method. And also realize that the more you do this, the faster you'll get through the different stages. So even though it seems a lot at the beginning as I go through it and say you should do this and you should do that, the better you get at it, and the more I've done it myself, the faster I can kind of progress through it so that I can learn to sing and play a song in one sitting, really. It's not a kind of a long process, but it is through following these steps over a period of time that you get to that point. So, number one, first step of the little method here is listen to the song a lot. And I know that might seem really obvious, but lots of people try and sing and play a song that they don't really know that well, and that just ain't going to work, right? So first thing you should do, headphones in. For some reason, headphones seem to work better for me to concentrate, and you want to listen to the song 10 times in a row. And not let yourself drift off, but really concentrate on the song. Try and get inside it, not just kind of scratching the surface of what you normally hear. Try and listen to the guitar part, really listen to the vocal part. How do they sit together? Don't try and play or anything yet, just listen. That's really important, that listening thing. I really can't overemphasize how important that is as a first step. Second step is learn the guitar part. Now this can be a kind of a simplified version of the guitar part because you want something that you can get automated, right? So it doesn't matter if it's just you kind of get the strumming down to the bare minimum and leave out any kind of complex little fills or whatever. You just want to learn the guitar part that you're going to try and sing over. So kind of strip it back, keep it really simple, keep it simple, stupid, KISS, really important thing to remember, and really work on it. If there's bits that you can't do, extract them and work on those bits individually because you can't be still thinking about your guitar when it comes time to doing the singing. Now, step number 3 is to play the guitar part while you have a conversation with someone. And if you're by yourself, you can have a conversation with your invisible friend, right? But the idea here is, can you play the guitar part while you're thinking about something else? That's really the kind of the test here if you're really ready to sing and play at the same time. So you should be able to sit there and get your chords together. Now I'm thinking about what I'm saying to you and the different steps of the program. I've got these chords and this sequence really kind of under my fingers, and maybe occasionally my mind kind of flicks back to the chords or where we are or what's coming up. But it's really that idea of kind of getting it automated so you can still think about this conversation bit. It's really important. It's a really great little test, and I still do it myself. You know, if I'm learning a new tune, I'm doing a lesson on something or whatever, I'll sit there and play the thing, get the kind of the guitar part that I want first, and then I'll just start thinking about other stuff, what I'm doing later, or you know, what I'll fancy for dinner, or you know, any sort of random thought, just to make sure that I've really kind of got that guitar part sorted out. That's really quite important. Now, stage 4 is listen to the song a whole lot more. But this time I really want you to concentrate on the singing and just the singing. So maybe another 5-10 times, really just completely concentrating on the vocal. You know, how is it sung? How powerful is it? How loud? How soft is it? What's the range? How does the melody go? Where are the breaths, if you can hear them, or if that seems obvious, you know? Just really, really focus on the melody and the singing part, the part that you're going to do. And the more time you spend listening to it and concentrating on it, the easier the rest of this process is going to be. So the listening stages, I can't emphasize it enough. Remember, we listen to music. That's how we learn music. So listening is the most important thing. So never forget that. So that's stage 4 here is going to be listening as well. Now, stage number 5 is to write out the lyrics. Now, write out the lyrics, not copy and paste from something on the internet and print them out. There's something about the listening to it. You've just been listening a whole lot, right? So you're listening to it and writing it down. There's something in that process that will help you remember them. So don't go for that, just kind of grab it off whatever, you know, site on the internet and then print it out and have it in front of you. It's not the same, right? The writing out process is a really important bit. So the other one, the copy and paste thing, yeah, it's kind of faster and easier, but it's kind of cheating. And I think sometimes, you know, when you put that bit of extra work in, you do get the benefit. So that's a really important bit. Now, the next part is to work on your singing a bit. So you need to practice singing along with the original recording. So find a version of the original recording that you like and practice singing along to it. And at this point, you need to be working on your pitching and your phrasing, making sure that you're singing in tune and that you kind of got the breaths in the right point, all of that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not a singing teacher. I don't really consider myself to be a very good singer at all. So I don't want to go into the idea of doing singing lessons. I'm sure that there are people online doing free singing lessons somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm sure there are if you hunt them down. Or find yourself a vocal coach. I had a vocal coach for a little while and I found it very, very helpful. Not that my singing's great now, but it's definitely improved a lot on what it was. So if you're struggling with the singing part, you might want to find a vocal coach. If not, just be singing loads of times along with the song, you know, really make sure that you're in tune. Good idea can be to record yourself. Little hint, if you've got a little dictaphone or even the kind of the voice recorder, you know, built into your phone would do, and record yourself singing along and have a constructive listen back to yourself and see what bits are working and maybe what bits you need to work on. So that's really important. Now, stage 7, make sure that you know what syllables the chords change on. Also very, very important. So not always do the chord's going to change at the beginning of a word. It might be in the middle of a word, you know. So I have to use one of my own songs because if I use another song, it'll kind of make copyright issues. So a song of mine, page 99. All I can think about is page 99. So it's not on 90, it's 99 is the change. Now what most people do is put a little arrowhead, a little chevron or whatever, above the lyric or the syllable where the chords change. A lot of people find that really helpful. I certainly did. Way back when I first started singing, playing at the same time, I'd write the lyrics out and I'd put these little chevrons all around, either on the beat or where the chord change was, depending on kind of what I was struggling with, you know. Sometimes the chord change will come after a word or just before the word. So part of the process, again, is listening to where that happens. It's not just the writing it in, it's going through and listening to the song and working out where the beat falls and where the chord change falls in relation to the lyric. Again, it's coming back to listening. You know, so that's another really important part of the process because it makes the next part easy. Now, the next one, stage 8, I have to make sure I concentrate here and don't muck the order up here. So stage 8 is now going to be singing along with the original recording and playing muted strums on the beat. Now what I mean by that, you're going to be holding the guitar with your fingers just kind of wrapped over the strings. So you're not playing actually a chord or anything, and you're just going to strum down strokes on the beat. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that along with the original recording and sing along. Now, if you can't do this, you're really going to struggle to play the song. And this is the first part of kind of automation because you're having to automate that strum while you're doing your singing. So if I'm doing my tune again, this page 99, I'll be going, all I can think about is page 99, about halfway down, starting from perspire. But I, of course, have the original recording on at the same time. And it's that process of having that strum, and if you can, tap your foot at the same time is the other. You should hopefully be working on tapping your foot all the time anyway. Every time you're playing your guitar, you should be tapping your foot because it'll really help develop that kind of internal metronome. So you try and get your foot tapping, strumming along with the original recording, and singing along with the words. Now, if you struggle with the singing, the lyrics, you could try humming. That's a good way of kind of avoiding the stuck on the lyrics thing. So just hum the melody to yourself. But if you followed the program properly, you would have learnt the lyrics properly by now, or at least have a really good idea of the lyrics. So that shouldn't be the problem. But if it is, you can try humming and then maybe go back and do the lyrics. So now you're away from the original recording for stage 9, which is to play the chords, 4 strums per bar, and sing along. So you're still really simplified. So it'll be, all I can think about is page 99, about halfway down, starting from perspire. Just really keeping it simple. It gives you a chance to think about your lyrics, because at this stage the guitar part should be pretty automatic. Maybe when you first start doing it, there's going to be a little bit of your brain still thinking about the guitar, but you want as little of that as possible, right? You really want to be concentrating on your singing and getting the lyrics and getting your melody sweet. You know, that's the point of that step. You know, it really is a big deal. So just keeping it real simple and being able to get that lyric going over the top, it'll make a huge difference when you get onto the final stage, which is stage 10, which is playing it for real. So in this case, it's got a fingerstyle pattern. So then, all I can think about is page 99, about halfway down, starting from perspire, etc. Now, that's got a fingerstyle pattern, which kind of leads me on to some of the extra stuff. But that's the basic program, right? And if you follow that and keep it real simple for yourself, for God's sake, start on an easy song, right? Don't go starting on a difficult one. There's a list of them on the website. If you find this lesson on the website, there's a list of a few songs that I think are really good, easy ones to start off with. And there's also a whole bunch more helpful hints for you that you might find useful on the website. I just don't want to draw this lesson out too much. But it's because there's so many of them. And also, if you get stuck on this and you want to go onto the associated forum lesson and ask your questions there, I'll update the extra tips part of the website so I can help answer any more problems before somebody else has them. So that's the program. I really, really hope that it helps you sing and play at the same time, and that it means that you can have a lot of fun with your guitar and playing and singing, entertaining your friends. And I'll see you for another lesson sometime very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.